next hour to talk to you guys, answer any of your snowboard questions. Coming to you guys live from Utah, just outside of Salt Lake City. It's been a pretty incredible week here. We've had like 3 or 4 straight days of POW. Lots of like snowstorms coming through. More snow on the way, so it's been nice to have the snow come and arrive and deliver us lots of great snow for January. December was a little bit dry, but January is coming through strong, so really happy about that. And yeah, stoked to be on here to talk to you guys. It'd be great to hear from you guys how your winter's going. If you guys have any questions about your riding, about tricks, about gear, definitely hit me up. It's been a super fun week. I've got a few videos that I'm working on. One's from Snow Basin here in Utah, so excited to get that video out. And yesterday was riding with Dan from Board Progression and his buddies Alex and also Austin. And we had a crazy day at Powder Mountain. It was super good. So yeah, a couple of good POW days recently at Snow Basin and Powder Mountain. Let's check into the chat. We got Bad Riders. Says he's waiting for a doctor's surgery. Okay. Dude, what's going on with that? Hope you're all right, man. We got Chuck Van in the chat. Nicholas saying, hope everyone's having a great Friday. Looking forward to the weekend. Oh, this is all before the chat. All right. And then we got... Yeah, it'd be great to hear where all you guys are watching from as well. Bad Riders. Igor, first big snow in Michigan. Nice. We got Robert Fowler in the chat. Nicholas saying heading to Winter Park next week. Chuck Van, it's very warm down in Australia. Benjamin, I have not ridden the LibTech terrain wrecker. Do you know how to do a tail grab? Absolutely. When you're in the air, you have to suck that back knee up. So bend your back knee more, and that'll bring your tail up. And so the more you can bend that back knee, the more your tail will be right there. So practice it on the slope first. Maybe just practice it standing in one spot, getting the feel of grabbing the tail of your snowboard, and then get it on a jump. Justin, I was planning a snowboard trip this weekend, 6-hour trip. Glad I didn't. The ski resort's closed due to blizzard conditions. Oh, wow. Where were you headed to? Yeah, I know that some resorts were closed today because of the snow, but also mostly because of wind, I think. It was pretty windy here around Salt Lake City. Recommendations for a first snowboard buyer for a beginner snowboard. Yeah, definitely just get a board that is inexpensive, something that's twin, something that's a bit soft, and I mean the most important thing is that you have a board that is the right size for you. So check the sizing chart. But yeah, get an inexpensive board. That's the most important thing. Benjamin heading up for the first time this season on Sunday. Oh, awesome. Tom, I don't even know where my board is, and it's January. Just happened to see the Pro Camp going strong. Awesome. Thanks, Tom. Appreciate it, man. Yeah, I mean, it's a bit of a late start to the season, but yeah, finally did arrive. So we've got some good snow now. Mikey saying, why are my 360s front side not getting better? What should I focus on the most? I would say focus the most on carving. So getting that strong heel side carve because that's going to set up the spin. And then also getting that straight pop off of that heel edge carve. So carving up on your heel edge, straight up pop. I think that will help you bring it around 360. And try it off of a jump first. Try it just on like side hits and things like that. Red Dirt is watching from Oklahoma. CDVR watching from New Hampshire. Gorb has not had a banana in 5 days. I'm really sad. I think I'm going through withdrawals. Well, Gorb, I've only got 5 bananas left, and that's only going to last me until tomorrow morning. So time to restock. Benjamin's watching from British Columbia. Awesome. Gabriel watching from Flagstaff, Arizona. And Desky watching from Vegas. No way. Chuck Van from Newcastle, New South Wales. Cody, how are those clue bindings? Yeah, the clues are awesome, man. There's just like the perfect 2-in-1 system. You got the traditional straps, so you can use the straps if you want, or they've got the release lever so that you can use them like a step in, step out binding. So you get the best of both worlds. Usually if I'm in deep POW, I'm just using the straps. But if I'm just like doing laps of the chairlift, then I'm using that step in, step out function. So you get the best of both worlds. We got Bad Riders, 11 months as a member. It says, hi Kev and DWCP homies. A topic firing in the DWC chat at the moment should have a fun members chat topic. How many pairs of underwear do you take when traveling? Man, just one for each day. That's all you need. 6-day trip, 6 pairs. That's it. But yeah, so if you guys want to become a member, we do a members chat right after this one. So we do an hour on here, and then we do another half hour over in the member section. Just hit that join button. I think it's $5 a month. Awesome way to support the channel. But yeah, shout out Bad Riders. Thanks for mentioning that. Martin says, sorry that I jumped in here. Are you still in Utah? Martin, we are still in Utah. So the plan is to be here for a few more days. We then go up to Banff, Canada. So excited to go up to go back home to Canada for a little while. We're going to be riding at Sunshine, Lake Louise, maybe Norquay as well. And we were supposed to go to India, but India has 0 snow. It's dry, it's super dry in India at the moment. So we are putting that trip on hold. Maybe go a little bit later, or maybe have to cancel the India trip if there's no snow. So we're gonna wait and see. But yeah, at the moment we're gonna be in Utah until at least Tuesday, or maybe a few days more. Go up to Banff, Canada for a while, and then possibly come back to Utah if the snow's good. I mean, it's so great here. You have so many different resorts, Snow Basin, Powder Mountain, Snowbird, Brighton, Solitude, Park City. So tons to explore. And yeah, I feel like I haven't even started yet out here. So Justin, I was heading to Ames, Iowa to snowboard at Seven Oaks Ski Resort. Oh, awesome, Justin. Chuck Van's first day of riding in Japan will be January 30th. Oh, sick. Blank says, hey, Kevin, saw some clue bindings out here in Tokyo. Was surprised to see. Yeah, man, I think Clue is taking over. They're going to be the #1 binding in a few years because, I mean, they're making the best bindings. They're supporting the YouTube community, which is amazing. And yeah, I mean, can't argue with that. So yeah, I mean, I've been seeing Clues all over the place. Saw them at Brighton. I saw them in Park City. You know, if I'm wearing the Clues or like riding with them, people will be like shouting at me and like pointing and be like, yo, that dude's wearing Clues. Like everyone's like got Clue fever. So it's pretty cool to see. Robert Fowler, 4 weeks until Hakuba. Oh, damn. Robert, you're going to Hakuba as well, man. Up to Japan. That's sick. Have a great time, man. Tyler, would you come check out Sun Peaks? Possibly, yeah. I've never been to Sun Peaks before over there in up in Canada there, so that's a possibility. CDVR, what kind of board do you have? So this one is the United Shapes Deep Reach, and it's been a super fun POW board. It's been awesome. Luke. Oh, we got Lunar on here. It says, yo, Kevin, amazing day riding with you yesterday. The absolute tops. Absolutely. Yeah, Austin, man. Top of the tops. That was, yeah, so I was riding yesterday with Austin from Lunar. And yeah, if you guys don't know about Lunar Snowboards, it's like a, Austin, he's making them. And he's got an awesome lineup of snowboards, of Lunar boards. And he rides with, just over my shoulder here, we got the board progression mittens. So yeah, hopefully I'll have to try out a Lunar board sometime soon. But yeah, board progression too. Dan, these are the, what are these gloves? What is the brand? VO. So these are pretty sick. And yeah, if you guys get the chance, check out Lunar Boards. And yeah, we had an awesome day yesterday riding at Powder Mountain. Just one of the craziest POW days ever. So hopefully get back to Powder Mountain. And yeah, it was really fun riding with those guys. Dan, Austin, Alex, incredible crew. Mikey, I can do it flat and get a high jump, but when it gets to a small jump, it's different and harder. Yeah, I mean, 360s are definitely harder on small jumps. I would say, you know, master your 180s in 4 different directions. And then once you got all the 180s like dialed in and mastered with some grabs, then the 360 is going to be so super easy. We got Zim watching from Kiev. Oh, wow. Jack watching from Seattle. My angle fishing watching from Ohio. All right, Gorb. I'm going to get one for you. Chris, when is the best time to hit Bachelor? Mount Bachelor in Oregon, I mean, it's an awesome place. I would just check the weather. I don't know. It's hard to like time snowboard trips. I mean, always later is better. Like mid-January onward, you're better guaranteed for some snow. But yeah, you don't want to leave it too late either, because then it starts to warm up and it starts to feel like spring. So I would maybe put it like mid-January to late February, that kind of time, that kind of window for Bachelor. But March could be good too. But the best bet is just to keep an eye on the weather, and if you can book your trip closer to last minute, that's a good way to do it. Ekamore says, what are your thoughts on wide boards? When would you need one, and how's the clue bindings behaving? I mean, wide boards are, I think, good for bigger people. If you're a bit bigger, so I'm like 6'3", 200 pounds, and the wide board I feel like just gives me a bit more stability. I don't have really big feet. My boot size is a 9.5, so I can get away with just riding a normal width board. But I also just like having that bit of extra width even for my boots. You're less likely to have boot drag. So I think if you have size feet 10 or above, just get a wide board. And especially if you're a bigger guy or a bigger person, a wide board is going to just give you more surface area, more stability. And for powder, wide boards are great for helping you to float, because with more surface area, it just allows you to float easier. So my POW boards are always even wider than my wide park board. So yeah, lots of good reasons to get a wide board. And the clues have been great. On and off the chairlift, You just got that quick step in, step out feature. You got the release at the top when you want to get out of them, which for me is the one thing that sets the Clues apart, is how easy it is to get out of them. Because with all the step-ins, everything is pretty easy to get in, but with the tricky part is stepping out. And if it's hard to step out, then what's the point? And with the Clues, the release is right at the top of the high back, so the best place for you to be stepping out of. So I really like that function. And then the fact that you still have straps, so you can still strap them in tight, so you get that same traditional feel binding as you would with regular snowboard bindings. And if you are in deep powder, so if you get a ton of snow in there, it's going to make it hard to use the step-in function. And so instead of using the step-in function in deep pow, you can just use the traditional straps, which then saves you from that headache. So yeah, you get the best of both worlds with the straps and the step in, step out. Nicholas wants to know, how's the snow in Utah? Never been. The snow here is super light. It's the kind of snow that when you go into it, it just really disappears and is just, very light and just flies up all around you. So the one snow test that I do is when I'm filming, if the snow is wet and heavy, then you tend to be constantly wiping off the camera lens, or if you get it on your face, you're wiping off your goggles. Where here in Utah, you never have to wipe anything off because the snow just blows off of you. So yeah, it's good. It's super light, it's been pretty cold, but as long as you're dressed properly, it's fine. And yeah, it's been really fun. Different, but in a good way. Sector 7 saying, I wish everyone much love, success, and prosperity here from Utah. Stoked it's snowing and stoked you're all shredding. Awesome, Sector 7. That's a super nice message, man. Yeah, I hope you have a great weekend. Chuck Van, the shorter answer for a wide board is big feet. That is a good short answer. Gorb says, I'll renew my membership if we get that smoothie vid, please. All right, Gorb, let's do it. Bad Riders, India 2025. Oh, wow. Okay, we're pushing it forward to 25. Kara says, any must-go fields in Hakuba, Japan, as they have so many? My favorite was Hapo One. That was my favorite, but there is another place that I can't remember. I think it was called, oh man, I don't even want to, I'm not sure what the other place was called. Sugake? I think it was called Sugake. Those two places. Hapo One had some of the best, if you go out of bounds and if you have some AVI training, there's some great backcountry just out the top of one of the chairs. Some really fun trees. And I think the other place was called Sugake, which had some really fun tree riding. That probably had the best tree riding. Some really interesting tree riding at Sugake. Chuck Van, that's a bummer, but the India trip, sorry to hear that. It's very high tide in Japan at the moment. It is, yeah. Japan could be an option. If India can't happen, then maybe Japan. Tyler, what do you think of the Orca? The Orca, super fun board. Yeah, it's got Libtex C2X, so you get lots of rocker for helping you to float. It's got a bit of a taper for floating in POW too, and you get that fun whale tail in the back, which is a lot of fun too. So all around, really fun POW board, and also magnet traction for riding ice and things like that. Justin, Kevin, you have sold me on the Clue bindings. Nice, man. If you use the promo code SPC10, then you get 10% off your Clue order. In the description of all of my videos, except for this one, because I forgot to do it, you have links to all my gear, and you also have the code SPC 10. Oh, board progression is on here. Dan, what's up, man? Such a deep day yesterday. Apparently too deep for today, LOL. Did you hear Pall Mall closed today? I also heard Snow Basin only had 2 lifts open today. Did you and Rav end up going? Great question, man. We didn't. No, we slept in and we just chilled today. We were like destroyed from yesterday. So that's great to hear that Snow Basin has only 2 lifts running today. So tomorrow when we head over there, we'll find some of the goods. And yeah, Powder Mountain was incredible. Glad that we got to get that in before it got shut down today. Would love to go back there, but it's really good to leave that place for a while, and then maybe we can get back there at another point. But yeah, Snow Basin tomorrow is the plan. And yeah, we have to do tons more days, Dan. Lots more days out there. It's gonna be. I'm sure we're gonna. Man, you guys are gonna take us around to some more wild spots. Got to get back to Snowbird too. Snowbird was really cool, and I feel like Alex is kind of itching to show us some of those wild like hikes and real big mountain terrain. Justin, our runs out here are less than a quarter mile. The clues will be super useful as I'm always strapping in. Yeah, I mean, that's where like they really excel is when you're just doing like chairlift laps, because yeah, just like stepping in, stepping out, hopping on the chair. It's so much faster than having to strap every single time. Oh, Chuck Van giving board progression some love. Awesome, Chuck. Benjamin, if you guys go to Sun Peaks, you should check out Harper Mountain. It is a small resort with 1 chairlift. Very much a hidden gem. Oh, awesome, Benjamin. Thanks for the tip, man. David just ordered those gloves. Oh, no way. Oh, sick. Oh yeah, the board progression gloves. Very cool. Yeah, shout out to Dan for hooking these up as well. And yeah, these are really cool. Original zipper design. Oh yeah, so this is the best part about these gloves is that once you got them on, and this is super useful, then you have the zipper right here. So then you can boom if you need to have any access. And then you can actually strap that down. So this comes undone, this goes down here, and then you wrap it around, and then you're good. So you've got like, see, these are so brand new, I haven't even taken them out of the packaging. Then you got your hand free, so then if the snow comes back, you just put them back, and then zip them up. And then, yeah, I think this is a Salt Lake City company. So really cool to support local companies. Dan, am I saying this right? It's VO? Is that a VO? Why can't I read that? The original zipper gloves. Cool. VOgloves.com. After the live chat, go to VOgloves.com. All right. Just scrolling back. Oh man, tons of great questions from you guys. Oh yeah. Oh, just ordered those gloves. Board progression, VO gloves. Thanks for showing them off. Remember to use the zipper instead of taking your gloves off though, Kev. I know, I'm not used to the whole process of taking them off. Extra extortionist says, where are you riding tomorrow? Come to Brighton. I'm worried that Brighton is going to be too busy tomorrow, so we're going to go to Snow Basin. It's like the Martin Luther King weekend, and it's going to be a busy one. So we're trying to go the place that has the least amount of chaos, which I feel like Snow Basin is a pretty chaos-free mountain. Brendan checking in from Zimbabwe. No snow here, but insanely jealous watching your vids. Oh, Brendan, thanks for tuning in, man, all the way from Zimbabwe. That's awesome. I think you're the first viewer that I know of or can remember that's from Zimbabwe. Javin says, I mentioned a couple months ago I was saving up for the K2 excavator. I was finally able to buy it. Awesome. Super excited to take it to the slopes next week. Awesome, man. Yeah, you're going to love that board. Rode the excavator all last season, and it's amazing. Super good float, so I hope you can test it out in some POW. Daniel just picked up some new boots last night. Ride lassos. Excited to rip them on Sunday. Nice, Daniel. Kay Truney, currently getting a winter storm here in Ontario, Canada, hitting Blue Mountain in the morning. Straight happy, Kev. Awesome. Yeah, that's my home right there, Ontario, Canada. I'll have to get to Blue Mountain, back to Blue Mountain someday. David, my legs have been stacking days. My legs feel like they're about to fall off at the knees. Okay. Board progression. By the way, I got your beanie in the background on right now. Okay, awesome. Thanks, Dan. That's sick, dude. Bo, we got Bo in the chat. Brandon, can I have your old gear? Sure, why not? Lunar, I was impressed seeing the clues in action yesterday. That step-in function was smooth and clean. Didn't see you fiddling with it at all. Pretty dope. Nice, man. Yeah, I was kind of curious about what you guys were thinking about it, especially being in the manufacturing side. It's always interesting to check out new stuff. So, yeah, it was working super smooth. I mean, sometimes you can get some snow in there if it's like real sticky stuff. And it can kind of like get, you have to get down there and kind of clean it out. But yeah, yesterday it was smooth getting in and out of that. So it was all good. Tavern, going to Lake Tahoe next weekend. Oh, amazing. Yeah, have fun at Tahoe. Daniel, favorite snowboarding spot in Washington? Man, I love Washington. I think it's super underrated. One of the best places to snowboard in the world. Mount Baker is probably my favorite. And then Crystal and Stevens Peak. Yeah, Stevens Peak and, or is it Stevens Pass? Why can't I remember? Stevens Pass and Crystal are close second. All three of those places are awesome. I haven't ridden like Snoqualmie or some of the other spots yet, but yeah, Washington is definitely underrated. David, traction devices for your tires for these snowy days. Best options, suggestions. I've used the tire socks. They lasted for 4 or 5 trips. Oh, I've never even heard of a tire sock before. I mean, my car has all-wheel drive, which I think is important to have. Winter tires is probably the most important thing. If you have good winter tires, that's, even with two-wheel drive, winter tires is a massive like help in the snow. And then just carrying chains. So I have a pair of chains that I carry just in case. I've only used them a few times. Like say in 5 years, I've maybe used the chains like 5 times. Oh shit. Oh shit. Sorry about that. Boy, pull over. There we go. Oh, it's gonna fall again. I think that should be fine. Sorry about that, guys. All right. David, never thought I'd enjoy snowboarding in a blizzard-like conditions as much as I have these past few days. Absolutely, David. Yes, it's so much fun. Yeah, Chuck saying, did you hear about the tragedy at Palisades? Yeah, super sad. I mean, that avalanche inbounds and somebody died, which is, yeah, huge tragedy. Um, Man, yeah, it's crazy for it to happen inbounds too, where you think like everything's gonna be safe. So super sad, and yeah, KT22 chair is yeah, I don't know, you don't know what to say, but I was thinking that too when I heard about it, because Chuck Van and I, we actually a year ago were, or almost a year ago, like 11 months ago, we're riding there with El Stacker and Swanee and um, Luke Hayes, the whole crew there. So yeah, super sad stuff. Level unknown, just bought my first board, Capita Outer Space Living. Oh, very nice. Fun park board there. Luke, hey Kev, you should try out Beaver Mountain in Logan sometime. Best powder in Utah, in my opinion, and super uncrowded all the time. Oh yeah, Beaver. So yeah, Dan was mentioning that. Board Percussion was saying that Beaver Mountain is super good. Chuck Van, yeah, liking the zips. Krish, any tips for a first timer? I say like just check out some of the beginner videos. Check out the beginner playlist. Gives you like an idea of where to start. And then just take your time, like have fun and progress at the rate you're comfortable with. I mean, it's going to take you a few days to get the hang of snowboarding, so don't try to rush it. And just take your time and do it in a way that, yeah, you're having a good time. And another thing with learning as a beginner snowboarder is don't try to learn someplace that's too flat. I think that's maybe the biggest mistake I see like new snowboarders make, is trying to learn where it's too flat, and that actually makes learning harder. Even as like an intermediate or advanced snowboarder, flat areas are like the hardest places to snowboard and turn. So I would just say avoid the flat areas and just have fun. Benjamin, have you ever been to Mount Washington in Vancouver Island, BC? I haven't, but I've always wanted to go, and we'll have to hit that at some point. But yeah, Benjamin, what's it like, man? Have you been out there? Chorney, hey Kev, if you're back in Canada sometime in Ontario, hit up Calabogie Peaks, a hidden gem between Ottawa and Algonquin. All right, I'll remember that. Calabogie Peaks. We got Mikey watching from Lebanon. Awesome. Forever PPL, love to hear about your United Shapes POW board. What size you riding? So I got I think it's the 162. Yeah, it's like a 162. Yeah, it's awesome. It's got a good taper on it, so the nose is nice and wide, small tail, stiffer POW board. So yeah, just charges through everything, floats super well. So yeah, loving it. Board progression, yeah, we definitely need to hit more mountains. VO Gloves, local Salt Lake City company owner Eric is a snowboarder and super humble, generous guy. Awesome. Yeah, everyone check out VO Gloves. Where'd they go? Hope that doesn't fall again. Yeah, vogloves.com. And check out board progression as well. There we go. The Tall Flipper. When are you coming to Sundance? Oh yeah, that's another place I've heard about. Sundance. Don't know. Don't have any plans yet, but yeah, I've heard it's good, so we'll look into it. Philip, any plans to go to Japan this year? No plans at the moment, but yeah, gonna keep an eye on the weather, and if Japan keeps getting this insane POW like it's been getting, then we'll possibly make a trip out there. Lunar, it only rains at Baker. Stevens Pass is a gem. It also only rains there. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Washington is underrated for a reason because the locals have nothing but bad things to say, which is great for them, which is really good for stopping tourism. But yeah, it's some hidden gems out there, but be careful of the rain. Valentium, Kevin, have you listened to 21's new album, 21 Savage? I have not. I have not listened to his new album. Krish, hey, I'm thinking to go to Banff next week, and any suggestions? I'm 186 centimeters tall. What length would you prefer when it comes to a board? I mean, check out the sizing chart, and it goes by your weight. So connect the size board you want to the right, like your weight. Claudia, heading a winter storm in Utah. Do you predict fun at the mountains next week? Next week should be good with everything filled in with like snow. I'm not sure exactly what the weather's gonna have in store for next week, but yeah, I'm sure it'll be a good time. It'll be better than it'll be really nice with like all this new snow we're getting. It's gonna fill in a lot of the trees. I'm sure the groomed runs will be nice. So they'll have the most amount of terrain open at all the different resorts out here. Board progression, I'll be at Brighton tomorrow till 12, but only because I was gifted a parking reservation. Nice. I think with the parking reservation required at an icon base being blacked out, it hopefully won't be too bad. Nice, man. Yeah, have fun. I'm stoked that you got a parking reservation. That's amazing, man. Vincent, hey, man, love your channel and was wondering kind of how you make an income with your channel, how long it took to get your channel built up, and is your channel and brand your main job now? Yeah, I mean, when I started, it probably took 3 years to kind of have it become like a decent income. So making, enough money to kind of like pay for rent and food and all that kind of stuff. And maybe it took 3 years to build up. And then after about 5 years, it became my full-time, like year-round job. So like being able to quit my winter job as an instructor, not working through the summers and continuing to make videos. So that took about 5 years. And I mean, the main sources of income, at first it was just from the YouTube like AdSense. So the partner program with YouTube, just based on how many views you get. So if you get like 1 million views, then you might get like say $4,000 per million views, something like that. I can't exactly remember what it is. And then the other thing too with the channel is commissions through gear. So there's some commission programs out there. So that helps as well. Selling merch is helps too. So I got like the SPC beanies and stickers and things like that. And then recently some sponsorship deals. So sponsorships with Clue and also Outdoor Master so getting a few sponsors going as well has really helped. It's tricky because I mean you only get out of it what you put in, and so as hard as you work is what you'll get out of it. But nothing's guaranteed either. So yeah, it's a lot of hard work. It's super fun too, and super thankful. Did you have another question in there? Main job. Yep, been the main job now for like 6 or 7 years now, full time. So yeah, super thankful. And then also, everyone that watches the channel. That's without them, none of this is possible. Loose Bert, are you stopping by Canyons Village, Park City? I have hit Park City a few times. I haven't been there on a good POW day yet. So Park City has kind of been my go-to, just like groomer lap resort up until recently, just because there hasn't been any snow. But we'll definitely hit Park City again at some point because I do have the Epic Pass. And that's the main resort around here on Epic Pass is Park City. Lucas, any tips for riding in trees? Yeah, definitely ride with people through the trees so you keep an eye on each other because it can get dangerous with tree wells and the hazards of tree riding. And yeah, just get comfortable doing like quicker turns. So your turn rate should be fast, like more frequent through the trees, and try to spend an even amount of time on your heels and toes. And yeah, every turn, just control yourself and then pick your next kind of turn through the trees. So take your time, go through as you're comfortable, and you definitely get better at trees the more you practice. But always ride trees with friends because they can be dangerous as well. Send core, I'm trying to learn to ride rails. How do I do it without completely wrecking myself? I mean, start on boxes and then build it up. Build it up slowly. Boxes, then tubes, and then rails. And I mean, if you get a bunch of tricks down on boxes first and then take it to tubes, and then when you start on like small rails, you should already have like a bunch of skills that will help you on the smaller things. But don't just go like right to the big rails because you're definitely going to hurt yourself if you go too early. So it's good to build up to it. Justin, if you're a beginner, don't let the ice defeat you. Yeah, ice is tough. Definitely, yeah, don't let it defeat you. I mean, sometimes the conditions out there aren't good. Like 2 weeks ago, I was riding over ice and rocks, and I was feeling pretty defeated, but just had to wait a bit longer for some snow to come, and now it's much better. So yeah, sometimes you get those bad conditions, but yeah, get back out there and ride again. Jack, have you ever been to Alpental in Washington State, a hidden gem? I haven't, but yeah, I have heard that Alpental is a hidden gem. So thanks for reminding me. That's like across the highway from Snoqualmie, right? I think that's the spot. Some really great like backcountry access and all that kind of good stuff. Just rode for the first time in powder ever. It was like 2 feet of fresh pow, and it was awesome. Oh, that's amazing to hear. Yeah, the first pow sessions are super fun. Benjamin, Mount Washington is awesome, can be quite busy on the weekends, and the snow is good for the most part. There is a good variety of runs from trees to terrain park. No way. It is actually my local mountain. Oh, sick, Benjamin. Oh, you're making it sound good. We'll have to get out there. Maybe on a weekday when it's not too busy. Mike T, when you pull on the stirrup to get off the board, does it have a satisfying feeling? I think it's more satisfying like clicking in than the step out. The step out is like fine, but I think there's more satisfaction from just cleanly getting into your binding without any effort. Schweitzer just got a bunch of snow. If you're interested in coming up at all this year, yeah, possibly. I mean, I love Schweitzer up there in Idaho, so we'll keep an eye on it. We kind of passed by Schweitzer on our way to Banff, so who knows? Maybe we'll be stopping in there in the next few days. Oh yeah, Shred 1904 saying would love to check out Schweitzer on a POW day. Definitely. Board progression, Sundance is dope. Smaller mountain, but a lot of vertical change in terrain. Snow can be a bit more dense though. All right, good to know. Yeah, but some of those smaller places can be a lot of fun when it's quiet and the snow's good. Kara says it's pretty easy to collect your snowboard from NRT Japan. I've watched a few vids that people are losing their boards at the airport. Oh, from Narita. Yeah, it's pretty common actually to have snowboard bags lost in Japan. I feel like it's happened to friends of mine like 4 or 5 times. And my friends who just went on a recent trip all their board bags got lost. So that's a tough one. I would definitely maybe put like air tags on your bags or some way to track them. And yeah, it's just like there's nothing you can do about it really. I think Japan is pretty good though about if they do lose your bag, about finding it and then getting it to you. I think it was my friend Bo who's had his bag lost like 3 times. So it's definitely a worry. Fat Pat says, you like Wolf Creek. Wolf Creek seems like a really cool kind of area. Yeah, I like that area a lot. We almost stayed in an Airbnb out there, but we found a cheaper one in Ogden. So right now we're in Ogden, which is just outside of Salt Lake City. But yeah, Wolf Creek is a cool area. Sammy, you're in Utah for the winter, right? Where are you riding the next few days? So tomorrow, Snow Basin, and Sunday, we're not sure yet. One day at a time. Wear It says hello from Boston. Valentium says, I would not go to Banff next week. It's going to be minus 40. I know. I think we're supposed to arrive after the polar vortex, that negative 40. I think we're supposed to get there after that, but we'll see. Schweitzer Mountain is so cold right now, like negative 30 degrees. So they had to close down the lifts for this weekend, which is depressing because they just got so much snow. Oh no, sorry to hear that. That's the worst when you get the snow and then they have to shut the mountain. Kyle, hey, I'm going to Park City in a week, not looking like much snowfall. I'll be using the 3D Deep Days. I just got that. I've never used it, even without powder. Do you think it still rips on groomers? The Deep Days, I think it's okay on groomers. And I think maybe on cat tracks, stuff that's flat, it might be a bit slow because of those contours in the base. But in POW, it's awesome. And if you're going in a week, I mean, you might still be able to find some POW. But yeah, man, have fun in the Deep Days. It's going to be cool. Emil, hi Kevin, any tips for a person who's trying to introduce someone to snowboarding? I would say if you're taking somebody out, the most important thing is to be patient with them. So not trying to like rush them or teach them too much. So being patient, just teaching as little as possible, really. I feel like it's a common mistake. I've made this mistake is you want someone to learn so bad is that you just start teaching them like everything. And you want them to get good at snowboarding so fast that you're like rushing them along and just constantly like telling them things. So I think the best advice is just to like make sure the person's having fun, kind of gauge how they're doing, how much energy they have, how much they're enjoying it, and just try to teach them like one thing at a time. And don't introduce something new until they've already kind of like passed that first thing. So yeah, just take your time, be patient, and make sure the person is enjoying it. Judo Panda, thanks for stopping in. All board, no breaks says, what's been the most difficult mountain so far? I think the most difficult mountain I've ridden is maybe Revelstoke. Revelstoke is a pretty difficult mountain. It's very steep. There's like a long cat track to get out of it. Yeah, a lot of like steep hikes. So I would say maybe Revelstoke. Yeah, I'll go with Revelstoke as being the most difficult mountain. Justin, love to see you getting sponsored. You definitely deserve it if you help so many of us progress in our snowboarding. Awesome, Justin. Oh, there's like a mystery arm going on back there. Yeah, it's super cool to link up with, it's not really linking up with companies, it's linking up with people, like the people that are behind the companies who are stoked on the channel and who want to like support it. And then in return, I'm like really stoked to help promote the gear that these people are passionate to be making. So it's a good like win-win, especially when it's people who you're just on the same page with. So yeah, the people from Clue, awesome, amazing people from out of Germany, making incredible bindings. And then with the Outdoor Master goggles, met the awesome crew actually at like a trade show here in Utah, and yeah, had an awesome time hanging out with the Outdoor Master crew. And so yeah, when the people are cool and they're passionate about snowboarding, it makes it easy to like team up for a sponsorship. Shred 1904 says, so cold out there and so many resorts, never seen snow forecast, dark purple. Yeah, the conditions are looking mega cold. Caden, with wind chill values, my resort is -48. Oh man, yeah, stay inside for that one. Sammy, Sundance is the move on the weekend, but Bishop's Bowl might not open tomorrow with the weather. All right, good to know. Maybe we'll have to head down to Sundance on a weekend. Vincent, you gonna hit up Mount Hood or Timberline at all this season? Mount Hood Meadows, possibly. Yeah, I mean, you guys are getting some incredible snow, so it might happen. And I've never ridden Mount Hood Meadows, so would love to get out there in the winter. David, how often do you wax your snowboard? Every other ride or more, spread out. I probably wax my board every I'll ride say 3 or 4 days and then wax it, kind of depending on how long the days are. So this board here I waxed, so I've ridden twice, and before that I waxed, so I'm gonna ride it one more time and then probably wax it again. Judo says it's going to below 0 degrees Fahrenheit tomorrow. Should I stay home or go shred? I would say just wear some warm clothes and go shred for sure. Broderick, is there a way to learn to fall/fail properly in the park for the different features? I mean, you do learn to kind of fall a little bit better with like some practice, but yeah, I mean, falling on a snowboard is difficult because you're strapped in, compared to say like a skateboard where you kind of learn to fall and you can like roll or run off of your skateboard. Snowboard is a little bit more tricky, but you do get better at it as you kind of advance in the park. One mistake is like putting your hands like straight out. A lot of like wrist injuries can happen that way. So kind of falling and bringing your like forearms in, that can help. Vincent, how do you ride all the different boards? Do you have to buy them or do you work with the companies? It's kind of a mix. So most of the time I would say I buy boards. So I bought the United Shapes. I bought my K2 boards last year, but this year Capita helped me out with a couple boards. So that was really awesome. So it's kind of like a mixed bag. Sometimes companies will send them for free, and sometimes I'll buy them. Samuel, first POW day at Tyrrell Basin, Mount Horeb. Awesome. Have a good time. Crystal, I'm hitting the slopes this year. True newbie. Just found you. Top work. I want to hit Slovenia by the end of the year. Oh, amazing. Yeah, I mean, yeah, do it up for sure. Slovenia, that'd be a pretty cool place to go snowboarding, I think. Julian, been following the channel for years. You've been a huge help too. Appreciate it. Awesome. Thanks, Julian. Thanks for, really appreciate checking out all the videos. Tim, hey Kevin, are you planning a trip to Japan this season? If so, Hakuba or Niseko, or where? If I went to Japan, I might go to Miyako. I haven't been up to Miyako yet, so that'd be fun to check out. Or do some research and maybe hit a place that is a bit lesser known, because I have been to Niseko a couple times. I've only been to Hakuba once, so I would like to go back there. But there's also just so many places out there that I haven't been. So there's a ton of snow, like resorts in Japan. So it'd be fun to check out some lesser known places too. The Tall Flipper says, yeah, I love Sundance. It's also my local mountain. They just got a ton of fresh POW. Oh, nice. Julian, what's the best snowboard video game of all time? Maybe 1080 Snowboarding for the Super Nintendo. I'm going to go with that one. Austin, does your wife still snowboard? I mean, she likes to go a couple times a season, but she's not that like die hard of like going like every week or all the time. So maybe just like once or twice a season. Kaden, I don't know if you know what Mount Spokane is, but it's got a great park only like an hour from Canada. I think that's Canada. I have heard of Mount Spokane or Spokane, but I haven't hit it yet. So maybe, yeah, it would be cool to check it out. Thanks for letting us know that it's got a good park. Kaden, do you post on like Insta or anything where you're going to ride? Honestly, I try to, but sometimes like the plans are kind of like last minute. But yeah, I mean, right now the plan is to ride Snow Basin tomorrow and Sunday, Monday, maybe Monday again, Snow Basin actually. So that's the plan so far. Oh, Chuck Van, that's not Yannick, that's Narav. Narav is here now. Yannick has gone back to London for a short trip. Mr. T, have you planned a trip to Heavenly in Lake Tahoe? Have you been? If so, thoughts? I've only rode Heavenly a couple times. The first time I was there was a really good POW day. Had a super awesome time. My second time there wasn't as much snow, but there was some cool like views of Lake Tahoe, and the whole vibe of the mountain was awesome. Actually, I've ridden there a couple more times than that. The one thing that was difficult is like the parking situation. That seemed a little bit crazy. It does get a bit busy, but I definitely haven't explored like the whole mountain. So I would like to go back there and explore it a bit more because, it seems like there's a lot going on out there. Valentinium, would you have what would happen to have a recommendation for some good multi-layered jackets for when it's kind of, I prefer to ride like a thin jacket and then put layers on underneath. I think that's the best way to do it. Heavier jackets I don't have a ton of experience with because I've always kind of done the thinner ones. But if you do like lots of layers, and if you have a good base layer, a base layer is really key. So start with the base layer. Like what I do on a really cold day is I do a base layer, then I do like a sweatshirt, and then a mid-layer jacket, and then a thin shell jacket. So I usually I'll do like 4 layers on a really cold day. Sejal, sup Kevin, I'm in the northern part of Michigan right now. We're getting hit with the winter storm. Jerry, 1 to 2 feet of snow expected through Monday morning. Awesome. That's amazing. Yeah, have fun. Hope you get out there and have a great time in it. Caden got some new goggles. Way to go. Kyle Mack, what's better, Park City or Snowbird? I think Snowbird is better for sure. I love that big mountain feel, all the like alpine sections, the steepness of it. But to be fair to Park City, I haven't properly been there on a POW day yet either. So I haven't gotten to try all like the different tree areas in Park City yet. But of the 2 places, I've just had a awesome POW day at Snowbird. So I would give Snowbird the point there. Awesome, guys. So just got to the 60-minute mark. Thank you guys all for hopping onto the chat. Really appreciate you guys coming, all the support. Don't forget, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell if you want to get notifications every time I go live or upload a video. And if I missed any of your questions, just ask them in the comment section of any video. I do my best to answer all the questions there. And about to go over to the members chat area. So if you guys want to become a member and get that bonus chat, and there's some other cool bonuses with becoming a member, hit that join button. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Hope everyone has a great weekend out there snowboarding. And yeah, lots of snow across North America at the moment, so exciting times. Amazing. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll catch you guys on here next weekend. All right, later, guys.